York system. Oh, so you really did like the picture we put up earlier.
Loved it. Awesome.
Look at this. Oh, a lot of questions on this. Good to see you. Thanks
Nice
for
to see
coming
you.
in. Really appreciate you being here.
pleasure.
So, no matter where I go, and I've traveled a pretty decent amount, especially when I'm going to places to try new wines and everything, I always get questions. Have you been there? Have you been to Olneyville, New York system? And everybody throws Wiener in at the end all the time. And I know that that's not the actual name, but it's the well-known thing. I got to tell you, tell me, because the aromas are already driving me insane, tell us about the history. How did this all come about?
Hot wieners in Rhode Island. Well, the Greek immigrants came from the old country through Ellis Island and settled mostly in Brooklyn, New York. My family settled on Broadway in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Operated their small restaurant, and then over time, Greek immigrants pretty much scattered all over the country. And descendants of ours came to Providence and settled and opened a restaurant on Smith Street, the original New York system.
Okay.
Soon thereafter, my family, my great-grandfather and my grandfather, came to Rhode Island and worked at that location. Matter of fact, we both have pictures in our restaurants of our family members working at Smith Street.
That's
And then in
awesome.
1946, my family branched off, opened in Olneyville, actually around the corner from where it is now, and then at its present location since 1954.
So 46 is when you branched off, but it was going already before that.
Yes, at Smith Street. Other wiener places, by the way, we're not related, but we all do our own thing.
Okay.
Other New York systems, all independently, and but that's my direct family, starting on Smith Street and then coming to Olneyville.
So is Cranston part of the same?
That's our family
your
as
family's,
well.
okay.
And I say our family. Right now, it's my sister and I.
Okay.
My sister does, I won't say more than I do, but the tougher job. She does all the behind the scenes, bookwork, paperwork, back of the house stuff that I don't have to do, and I don't like doing.
I don't blame you at all. I
And-
don't blame you at all.
And I do the hands-on operation of it.
But you've kept, and we're talking about what you've got going on in your particular family now. That tradition and that history is amazing. To think about how it came there. So the New York in the name, did it come over because the family came over from New York, or?
Well, that's often debated,
Okay.
the true origin of why it's called New York system. We seem to think it's just a tribute that New York gave the Greek immigrants. And when they came to Rhode Island, they called it New York system just to give it that
That kind of homage to pay,
recognition.
to pay it.
Exactly.
So, and then Olneyville came in when you moved to the location that you're in now.
Yes, we originally were just New York system up until the early 80s, and then we used Olneyville, New York system, just to differentiate between ourselves and everyone else.
So this, I came here in, I won't even say the years, but I came here in the 90s. I wasn't here 2 months and someone told me that I had to go to try this. And you felt, and using the name New York again, when I went in, I felt like I was visiting New York City with the fast pace, the environment, how it was coming out there. They got you, how do you want it? What do you want on it? I loved it, like the environment and the funness of it. And it stayed this tradition. Do you think it's because of that style? You've, not just Rhode Island, and again, going to all of my guests today, is that I can't have someone tell me, I was literally in Palm Beach at a food and wine festival, and someone said, oh, do you know that New York system? And I'm like, yes, of course I do.
It's amazing the reach, the number of people have been through our door, or any New York system for that matter. But for us, yes, we've served countless people through so many years. And you mentioned how we do it. It's New Yorkish, dinerish,
Right.
no slips, all by memory,
Right.
things like that. And our greatest, I think, reason for our success has been we've kept it that way. We try not to change anything.
Right.
We don't add food items, we don't take away food items, we just keep it the same, and it's so much tougher than it seems. Not only the food product, but the building, the decor, things like that.
So paint for us, before we get to the food, because I'm going to have to in a second, because it's driving me crazy here. Paint for us kind of a visual of the setup of each of the restaurants that you have. Paint a verbal visual for us on the setup.
Well, first, to finish the point, we opened in Olneyville, well, where we are now, in 1954. Okay. Most of the decor is all the same, all original. 1983, my dad, who passed away 6 years ago, third generation, my sister and I are the fourth, by the way. In 1983, we opened our Cranston location.
Okay.
Now, Cranston has its own identity. The decor and the furnishings is just totally 1980. And through the years, we've seemed to learn that keeping it the same is the best way to create that
The vibe
reputation and the vibe. So when
Yeah.
people go in there, like I always say, people come in and say, wow, this place hasn't changed a bit, and they taste the wieners, and they're like, wow, it tastes just like I remember. That's our greatest compliment.
Right.
So Cranston from 1983, and it's been 35 years, and we're
Wow.
still going strong. It's uniquely different.
but again, that goes to the true homage of it, is that you've adapted to what people saw in it. You kept that one the same, you kept the other one the same. And it's, when you go in, like, so paint a little bit more verbiage, because I want people to understand, if you haven't been there,
Sure.
first of all, you're missing out and you got to fix that after this segment. But talk about how they come in and place the order and how the restaurant's set up.
Well, Olneyville, Providence, location in Cranston are uniquely different. You come in, you order to go, it's verbal, we take your order, we yell it out, whatever it might be. My guys, our girls, bring it, assemble it, we make the wieners right in front of everyone.
Right.
If you order to stay, you seat, we kind of shout it back and forth from the customers.
Right.
And all by memory, no slips. And we've been doing it that way since day one.
So I have a term that I kind of like to use when I went in recently, this like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I call it food theater. Like, I think it's like the guys, like, because of the interaction with your team as to how they're doing it. I mean, the fact that these guys can put it up and down their arms like that, and the fact that they can put it on the plates like that to be able to, and remember, I mean, I know that I go to a lot of great restaurants and they're spouting off the menu additions or specials, and then they're taking the order, but I can't remember what I'm ordering, and they can when they're going through. It's a gift. It really is.
You know, a restaurant or any business is only as good as its employees.
Right.
A lot of my employees have been with me more than 30 years. Most of them have been there at least 20. And I
fantastic.
take great pride in that, and they are what helps make our business successful.
Well,
and over that time, they've been, just getting to know the customers. You know, there's a little bit of a social atmosphere there.
Right.
But when it comes down to business, they're on point. They know what they're doing. They do the best they can. I always have a good attitude, not only in my personal life, but also my business as well. I think it conveys to the customers and to the restaurant as a whole.
And I couldn't agree more. I think you deserve a lot of credit in the fact, and the plain fact that you have employees that have stayed there that long says a lot about it. So let's get into what these aromas are that drive me crazy, and let's talk about the different varieties that you have. So what did you bring here today?
Well, I brought you 6 all the way.
Oh my
Now,
gosh.
I will, if I may, describe
Of course.
what it is. Okay, the wieners, made locally, Johnston, Rhode Island. Mixture of beef, pork, and veal.
Okay.
Spices, 1 mild preservative. That's it. There's no additional extra, like if you pick up others in the store and you read the ingredients, it's a little scary.
Right.
These are not that at all. Made and delivered daily to both locations.
Wow.
They're in a natural casing. They come in a long rope. Now we know what a natural casing is,
Yep.
like a sausage casing. Every day I have someone is actually cutting them off the rope, off the natural casing,
That's
into
awesome.
its present size. It's a brand mustard topped with the meat sauce. Now we make that every day as well. The secret spice.
All right, which we're
family
going to talk
secret.
about. We're going to talk about that in a
Yes,
second.
and we chop the onions daily as well, and celery salt. Now a lot of people don't always know what celery salt is, and they're like, what is that?
My oldest son is a huge fan of celery salt.
And it finishes the onions very well, and of course the steamed bun, which is very important as well.
So how many different ways can the wieners be ordered?
Well, first of all, you never put ketchup on them. Let's get that.
Did you hear that? You don't put
ever
ketchup
put
on these
ketchup
wieners.
on wieners. Or we'll let you know about it. Oh yeah,
They'll call you out.
We will.
They'll absolutely
We're not
call
going to
you out.
embarrass you or anything. Yeah, we
A
might,
little bit, just a
actually.
little bit.
So, I mean, any derivation from this is acceptable. No onions, heavy sauce, heavy mustard is fine. Mostly it's all the way. A lot of people don't like onions, that's fine. But more often than not, it's all the way with heavy onion, believe it or not.
And the mustard is absolutely amazing, I have to tell you. It is absolutely amazing. You mentioned the fact that almost all this is sourced locally, from you bringing
Yes.
in the onions to do it, to your steam in the buns, to the hot dogs. I didn't know that about that, and about the casings and everything.
excuse
So
me, Rick.
the
Hot
wieners, on hot wieners, I apologize. But I didn't realize that you're cutting them and they're coming in locally.
Yes.
Say again who that was from?
Rhode Island Provision, Johnston, Rhode Island.
Johnston, okay.
They make them daily, federally inspected, every day.
That's amazing to me. And then that's great from you because you're keeping someone else out there in business and helping them get going on
Even
it.
our vendors are all from Rhode Island. No one from out of state.
That's
The
fantastic.
things we can't get, like onions, things like that, we all purchase daily from local vendors
That's
only.
unbelievable. Now, the sauce.
Yes.
So let's talk about this. So I've got at least 7 questions on the sauce. And when did this come out where you were able to do this?
A lot of people have been always asking us through the years,
Okay.
how do you make your sauce? I tried it at home. I put Worcestershire sauce. I used all these crazy things we hear about.
Right.
So we decided to actually package the secret spice. There's
Pound servings.
approximately 7 different spices in it.
Okay.
We sell it through the restaurant. We sell it in local supermarkets,
You do,
including
okay.
all the Daves, all the Stop and Shop and Shaw's in the area.
Okay.
And it's become very popular. We started about 10 years ago, and we're always surprised on how it continues to be, doing well.
So you just said Dave's and Stop and Shops.
Yes.
And is it like Shaw's, any of those guys as well?
Yeah, Stop
Okay.
and Shop, Shaw's, all the Dave's marketplaces,
Okay.
and a few small independent markets in your
So
neighborhood.
you just named 3 major places that you can find no problem. So I don't even have to answer everybody's posts back. There you go. You got your answer for it. This said it makes 3 1-pound servings?
Most people use the whole package with 3 pounds of hamburger,
Okay.
and it comes out well. The liquidity of it, as you're making it, you can add more oil to it, but if you do it slow enough, which is the secret,
Okay.
just simmer it slow enough, the oil breaks down, and it comes out almost as good as.
Should they use a specific type of hamburger, like the fat
Well,
content?
actually, a higher fat content will lead to more liquidity, so you'd have
Okay.
to add less soybean oil, for example.
Okay.
And you just do it by eye, really. And the instructions are on the back. And
It's got everything. You're good right here. You're all good with this. It's
so,
awesome.
as well.
So over the years, this is becoming, like I said, I've been here since the 90s, and I've seen this in press traveling. I've seen it in a magazine on an airline. You've gotten a lot of recognition for the uniqueness of this. So again, and I was talking to John earlier about Casertas, is that you've had to seen a lot of things that have given you this sense of pride. A lot of people that have come through the door. Forget the people that come and write about it, because to me it's a no-brainer when their travel writers or USA Today stops in and they're going to cover and take the great pictures of you. But you've had to seen a lot over the years of generations now coming in and experiencing this and showing it to their friends and family.
Rick, I'm 58 years old. I started there as a kid when I was 15, 1975. And I've been there all these years. Lunch, late night, I'll be there until 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I'm still amazed at the diversity of our customers, the repeat customers. I went to a local shop yesterday, and I walked in, and I recognized the guy. I didn't know his name. I didn't know where he worked.
She recognizes
But
face.
I was like, oh, I've known this guy for 40 years, literally.
Wow.
And his son I do know. But it was just a matter of all these stories happen almost daily, or all these occurrences happen almost daily, and I'm still amazed by that at the Reach. You mentioned John. I mean, great product. I love Casertas, and I've known John personally for years as well. And his pizza, I think, is one of the best in Providence. But when we talk about how wieners, we're more unique. We're more,
Absolutely.
There's not as many wiener places that are around. So
No, you've got a niche for sure, and I think that's extended it. But you keeping the style and going back to how you described the restaurants earlier is a big part of that. I think that's a really big part of it. And a testament to the fact that he says that he's there all different hours. I have to tell you that when I called to schedule to get him in to come in, they were like, call back after 8 o'clock tonight, or call at midnight when it slows down to catch up with you. So and you guys, your hours of operation. That's another thing. So let's cover that. What are the hours if you're open?
we open 11 o'clock, 7 days a week. We
Okay.
close at 2 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 3 a.m. Friday and Saturday.
So have you ever, I mean, I know Cranston was another add-on that you said happened in the 80s there. Has there ever been any other thought to expanding again?
Well, that's a whole other discussion, okay? Because business climate in Rhode Island is challenging,
It is.
and we did have a place in North Providence. It did well. It did okay, but we just wanted to concentrate more on Providence and our Cranston location. And since then, we found a lot of North Providence people who used to go to our North Providence location
coming
are
back.
driving all the way to Providence.
Providence, yeah.
So it was pretty much a lateral move.
Well, I mean, I can't say enough about it, and being that I now feel like I've been here longer than anywhere else I've lived, and the people that I hear about it from family, from friends, from tourists coming in. I was talking to folks from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, just before this at an event for PVD Fest that's coming up, and they're like, oh my God, we love that guy, and you've done a great thing, and you've really become a Rhode Island favorite, a Rhode Island staple, so congratulations to you and your entire team.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank
Really
you,
appreciate. Oh wait, you know what? We didn't talk about this before I let you go. What
Okay.
did you bring here?
Okay, this is coffee milk.
That's right.
Another Rhode Island staple.
There we go.
Okay.
I did not miss that, sorry.
Now, coffee milk, this is from Monroe Dairy, East Providence, local. We sell a lot of it. We sell more of it than any Coke or soda product.
Really?
Oh, yes, because it's a Rhode Island thing. Social media has been a great reinvention of restaurant and business growth.
Right.
And we've seen so many people come in off the street like, hey, gee, I saw this place online and we wanted to try it and all that. So we kind of give them the tour. They try the wieners, and we always give them a little shot of coffee milk because they probably have never had it before.
Good point.
And they are like shocked. Not only about the coffee milk, but actually having coffee milk with
a
meat product.
Right.
But
Right.
we've been, doing so well with the whole combination of things that as far as the Rhode Island staples we serve. And yeah, we're proud of that, especially with the lunch to late night crowd.
So, and I'm glad that I didn't forget this because we put up a picture and you complimented the fact that the picture showed off the coffee milk, and it is another staple, and it's something I definitely wanted to make sure we highlight. So thank you for doing that. Really appreciate it.
Great.
Again, thanks again for joining me today, making the time.
My pleasure.
I know you're busy over there.
Thanks so
These
much.
won't go to waste. I'm sure they'll be devouring them out there while I'm in here
Thank you.
still. Taylor's going to help you grab some of this.
All
I
right,
might
great.
steal one of these on you.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right. So